Well, hello beautiful people, and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to be talking to you about a current fund that is open right now. The SAB Foundation Tolowana program. It is currently open for you, small business owner, to actually apply on it. My name is Tandisa Maya, and I talk all things relating to business, making money, and the family life. To my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I truly appreciate the support, and our channel is growing. I'm so excited. And to people that are new on this platform, thank you so much for coming through. Please consider subscribing, and please consider switching on the notification bell so that you're kept abreast of when we put out new content. And if you're confused in terms of what we do here, it's very easy. I help you to start and grow your business. That is all I am about, okay? Great stuff. Now, this is another opportunity that is out in the market, and SAB Foundation is more private. So their processes are much better and quicker than your traditional government kind of incentives and programs and funding opportunities. Now, this is structured in an 18-month support program that offers a whole lot more than just funding. It offers mentorship, coaching, support, market access, and also it includes a funding element. And I think the reason why SAB Foundation decided to change their methodology is exactly what I usually say. You cannot only focus on funding, because a business needs to be functional holistically. I think when they were launching the program in 2014, 2015, around that time, they, were giving out funding, and then they were not able to see the impact. They were not able to see the return on the investment in terms of the business being sustainable and viable in the long term. So then they decided to change the program. They've been changing it over the years. They roll the program out, over every single year. There's an open call. I think they have seen some of the gaps and some of the challenges that small businesses face that relate to outside funding only. Because I think there's a lot of focus that we put on just the funding element, and we forget all the other areas. And sometimes, even though we get to be funded, we're not able to be sustainable. We're not able to succeed. That's a problem. Now, let us get into why the program is in existence. There are so many different reasons that SAB Foundation puts out as why they decided to establish and design the program. But I'm going to be touching just on a few of those. The first one is they want to intentionally support small Black-owned businesses. I know that, it's true that Black-owned businesses, they struggle. When they enter into the market, the mainstream market, they struggle to stand. They struggle to commercialize. They struggle to be viable. They struggle to get customers. They struggle to, get markets. They struggle with a lot of different things. They struggle with systems. They struggle how to operate the business. They struggle to scale. They struggle to grow the businesses. So there is a need for more, support programs that can get into that space. So they've also positioned themselves as another solution and support structure for small Black-owned businesses. They want to help in the growth and sustainability of small businesses as well. Just like I mentioned earlier, this is one area that small businesses struggle with. Sometimes, a small Black business can be able to start, but then when it comes to the time for the business to be scaled or moved to the next stage of business growth, there's a problem when it comes to expansion, when it comes to growth, when it comes to sustaining the actual business. Making sure that the model is sustainable in the long term for the next 20 years is a challenge. So that is why they have created this program, to also support in the growth and expansion phase of a business. Another reason that they put out is job creation, because we are in a country, South Africa, that struggles with job opportunities. There are a lot of gaps when it comes to strategies that can be put in place to ensure that jobs are created. This is a daily cry, and it's a daily reality. So the SAB Foundation is positioning itself to say, okay, let's help these businesses that have got a lot more potential to be sustainable and create jobs. In their being sustainable, in their growth, in their expansion, they'll be able to create more opportunities for more people that are not employed to get some jobs. The last one that I'm going to talk about that they focus on in terms of why the fund actually exists is that they want to contribute towards the reduction of socioeconomic imbalances and challenges. Things like previously disadvantaged and previously excluded groups from the mainstream market, ensuring that they're also able to participate. So they have a lot of focus in, ensuring that the gaps that exist in our society, socioeconomically, they are able to be addressed in the way that they roll out the program itself. Now, I know that there is a lot of skepticism when I put out funding opportunities and that you can be able to make use and like programs that are in existence, that are real, that are true. There's skepticism. So I thought, you know what, let me also bring the numbers in terms of since the business was started, since the wing, SAB Foundation and the Tolowana Fund itself, or the Tolowana Enterprise Program was started, how many businesses have been, assisted, and how much money has been invested in the entire process. And these are the numbers. Since inception, they have been able to assist with over 244.2 million disbursed to small businesses, okay? And this is over 602 enterprises, like different business enterprises. So this is evidence that you could also stand a chance to be one of the enterprises that get assisted, to be one of the beneficiaries of these millions of rands that they want to spend. It's more of a giving back to the community type of program that the SAB Foundation is running. Now, let us move to who can be able to apply on this kind of a program. And this is very important. Please listen carefully, okay? Listen very carefully. The first thing that I'm going to say is that they have mentioned within their 2024 guidelines, like for this current call, that they are going to be prioritizing women. They are going to be prioritizing people living with disabilities, youth, and businesses that are in rural areas. Okay, so they have mentioned this and they've made it quite explicit to say that their priorities will lie within the scope of people. Now, some of the things that they're looking at and looking for from an applicant, the individual now that is running the actual business, they are looking for someone that is self-motivated and driven, okay? You need to be self-motivated, you need to be driven. They have got so many different methodologies of testing these things out, so you cannot fake it. When you're an entrepreneur, you need to be driven. You need to be self-motivated. You are the driver. You are the driver. You are the pilot. So you need to reflect that in the way that you run your business. Secondly, they want people that are willing to learn, that are willing to grow, and that are willing to change. Because when you're entering this program, they're going to be obviously scrutinizing the way you're doing your business. Some entrepreneurs are very strict and, thick-headed in terms of this is how I do things and this is how I've been doing it. And, don't change it if it's not broken and stuff like that. And that's not the attitude that you need to get into this program with. Because there are some things, they work with experts, guys, like real experts in different industries. So there are some things that are going to be brought to your attention that will say, if you tweak this, if you change this, if you consider this, your business will perform a bit better. This is for 18 months, remember. So you need to be open to that. If you know that you're not a person that's open to any, adaptations, changes, improvements, feedback on your business, then this is not for you. You need to show entrepreneurship and leadership abilities, okay? When you're an entrepreneur, you are automatically a leader, okay? And you need to have those skills. They will be assessing that and it needs to come through. Another element that they're looking for is for someone that is involved in the daily operations of the business. So if when you are delegating the responsibility to your staff or employees and you are not involved in the operations of the business, you might not be the best candidate for this, because they want someone that is there, that is heavily invested in the business itself, in the operations of the business, leading the process, being part of the entire business every single day. Another thing that they want is for you to be a South African citizen, and they want you to actually be willing to go through the entire process. If you're not going to be able to commit for the 18 months, don't take up the program. Please don't take up the program, because it's not going to work. They are also considering skills and experience within the industry that you're functioning in. They want to see that they're going to be, working with someone who at least has some kind of experience with this kind of a business, with the industry. There's work that you've done in the space already. The last thing that they mention is they want someone with high morals. And this is what I always say, even when you're engaging on social media, you need to be very careful how you are behaving. Because if you've got low morals, it's going to show. They're going to vet you. They are going to vet you. So this is why I always say that as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, how you come through on social media, the things that you say, how you respond to people, your perspectives and how you reflect them, respect, issues of accountability and responsibility. Do you have those high morals? They're looking to work with people who have got very high morals. Now, let's move over to the requirements for the actual business. Number one, they want to work with businesses, or in terms of eligibility to apply, you need to have a business that is 51% Black owned, okay? And let me clarify this. coloreds and Indians are black. I have been receiving a lot of questions, like when I put out information and I say black business, you know, someone who's colored is going to come up and say, what about us? Or someone who's Indian and say, what about us? Guys, in South Africa, if you are not white, you are black. That's just it. Even if you are colored, you are not white. Even if you are Indian, you are not white. So you also fall within the category of black people. When I say black people, I also mean you. And even these funders, when they say black businesses or black people, they're also including you. Okay, please understand that you are black. Even if you are colored, you are still black. And even if you are Indian, you're still black. Okay, so they want people who are 51, the businesses need to be 51% owned by black people. Number 2, the business needs to be creating jobs. That's their focus. As I mentioned earlier, they want to support businesses that are going to be creating jobs. Number 3, they're looking for businesses that are in the early stages of growth. So you can't be like a fully commercial corporate business that's going to come and apply here. It's more targeted on businesses that are at early stage of growth. Another requirement is that you should be trading for at least 12 months. Now, this is even higher of a requirement than the other funding opportunities I put out, because they usually say 6 months. This one says 12 months. And when you are busy not starting that business and not creating those records so that when opportunities like these come up, you can be able to participate. So my advice to you is to start today. Start registering your business and formally comply with all the laws and ensure that you are functioning appropriately, and stop putting your money in your personal account and have a business account and create records there, because this is going to be proved by your records. Like the 12 months of operation is going to be proved by your records, such things as financial statements, your bank statements and things like that. They are going to be proving that you've been in existence for quite a long time. Number last, you have to be a business that is operating and headquartered in South Africa. Your business needs to be operating birthed, owned, headquartered in South Africa, because they are supporting South African businesses. Now, the other element that I want to touch on before I go to how you can actually apply on this fund is what is not eligible, like what they don't consider, what they don't fund, who they will not work with. If you fall within these categories that I'm going to mention, please know that you cannot apply on this fund. Number 1, SAB Foundation employees. Even their branches, even their sister companies, you cannot apply. If you've been funded before by the SAB Foundation Tolowana Enterprise Program, you cannot apply. If you have a business idea, you are still at ideation stage and you have not yet started and are not registered, you cannot apply. They do not work with the sin industry. I know it's kind of ironic, but they do not work with the sin industry, some elements of the sin industry, but you're going to be able to look them up properly on the guidelines. They do not assist with franchises. They do not assist with non-profits or any sponsorships and any bursaries. Now, those are all the things that are exclusions, ne? But when you go to the website of SAB Foundation, when you look them up, you're going to be able to see right on the first page, you're going to see where they talk about this fund right on the header of the first page. Like when you land on the landing page, you're going to see, and when you read more of those documents that are attached there to give you more information, you are going to be able to see exactly what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to the exclusions and everything else, obviously. Now, let's move and focus on how to actually do the application. Do not send me an email requesting me to forward you an application form. It doesn't exist because the application is done online. Don't send me a message. Don't call me. Don't send me an email and say, Tandy, please, can you send me the application form? How am I going to do that? It's an online application, okay? Don't do that. The only time you're going to come to me, give me drop me an email on my email address, is if you want me to assist with the process. Like you want to hire me to assist you with the application. That's the only time I'm going to talk to you. But when it comes to you requesting application forms, they do not exist. Guys, I repeat, application forms don't exist for this fund. It is done online. You go online onto the system, and I'm going to be just taking you through at a high level what you're going to get when you're doing the application. You're going to hop on the SAB Foundation website on the internet, and you are going to literally go. I can't say it here on this video because I'm going to be using this video on different platforms, and on one of the platforms, they're not happy when I put out, details of websites and email addresses. So go and search on Google SAB Foundation. You are actually going to be able to find it. So you literally just go online to the SAB Foundation. When you land on the landing page, this is how you apply. On the landing page, it's going to be there. It's going to say something like, a call for applications are open now, something along those lines. And then you click on that button and then it will take you straight to where you're supposed to be doing the application. The first thing that you then need to do is to register as an individual, as an applicant. That process is going to require your name, your surname, and your email address. And then you're going to create like a username and a password. The username will always be your email address. So once you've put in your email address on the system and your name and your surname, they're going to like generate that username, which will be your email address. And then your responsibility is to then create a password so that you can be able to enter on the actual online application, the form itself. Then the next thing that you need to do is to create the application form for your business. You're going to create the application form. They're going to ask you a couple of things, including the name of the business, the province that you are applying from, and also where you heard about SAB Foundation from. And the last thing is the eligibility criteria. Be very careful with the eligibility criteria, because the minute that you are not able to meet the eligibility criteria based on the questions that they will ask you, that's where it will end for you. You will not be able to proceed to the next stages in the system. So make sure that you are truly eligible to apply on the fund. And then let's say you go through the eligibility criteria and you go through to the next stage. Once you go to the next stage, what is going to be required of you is to complete now the actual application form. It's got 5 main sections, and these sections are the application details, the business overview, the financial performance, and uploads. Those are the 5 main areas of the application. Make sure that you complete all the areas. I always say this, don't leave any space out. When you're completing an application form, you need to complete the whole thing. Don't leave spaces out. Don't leave information out. Okay. Make sure that every single time when you're completing the application form, you can take pauses, but make sure you save. Save after each section. Once you've completed a section, make sure that you save it. Please do that. And make sure that you submit the application forms before the closing date. The closing date is the 9th of September, 2024. Please make sure that you complete this application form as soon as possible, as early as possible, and submit. Press and submit. To submit, you just press and submit. Obviously, you also need to, accept and agree to the terms and conditions that will be put out on the form just before you actually press submit. And then once you've pressed submit, that's it. You're going to get a notification that will say that you have submitted, online application submitted by user or something like that. And then that's it. You wait for the process that they're going to follow to actually sift through all the applications until the program actually commences and, they award those that have been chosen to be part of the program. And yeah, that's how you actually can be able to apply for the SAB Foundation Tolowana Enterprise Program that is currently open right now. So make use of this opportunity. Don't sleep on it. I always bring opportunities every single time I come across them. I know a lot of them and I'm going to keep bringing them here. So if you're interested in seeing this kind of content even more and more, and you are coming here for the first time, consider subscribing and switching on the notification bell so that you may be kept abreast of when we put out new content. And yes, that is all from me for today. Until next time, stay absolutely blessed.